Joined on the news at 10 by Mr. Busayo Morakinyo, who's an education consultant as well as the community engagement manager at Connected Development Code. I want to thank you so much indeed for joining us on the news at 10 tonight. One incident that readily comes to mind is the recent enrollment by Governor Nasir El-Rufai of his 6-year-old son, Abubakar El-Sadiq, in a public school. Do you think that is something out of the ordinary?
No. So personally for me, I think it was just optics, but it was good optics. We need more public servants to take their children back to the public schools because a whole lot of them actually went through the public school system. The current public school system we have today is a disgrace, it's an embarrassment to Nigeria. Nigeria is going to be 59, and it's sad that we find ourselves in this situation. So personally, I think the Kaduna State Governor has just set a precedent. I call it optics, though, and I think it's good for him politically. But the real issue is the fact that Nigerian children are out of school. The numbers are high. I don't want to stick to the statistics. You have the 10.5 million, you have the 13.2, 13.5 million. But the truth of the matter is a whole lot of Nigerian children are on the streets currently, and they do not attend schools.
What then would you say should be the quick fixes or solutions, if you will?
So for me personally, I think that we have to go back to the Universal Basic Education Act 2004. Now, it's instructive that act states that there must be free, compulsory education for children for the first 9 years of their schooling. Now, we've not been able to even achieve that in the first place. There's a current movement to expand the Universal Basic Education Act to cover for 12 years compulsory education for children. But now, we've not even done anything with the 9 years. So my thought is basically that the government needs to put in more effort. There's a need for that concerted effort. There's a need for more political will from government to be able to ensure that our children must go to school. I mean, there's a place in the act that says parents that cannot take that can't take their children to school, there are penalties attached to that. Now, I think that if government is serious, and when I talk about government at all levels. I talk about the federal government, the state government, the local governments. I think if they are very serious about taking these children back to school, it's a simple thing when political will comes in. But for what we can see now, what we see is basically politics and people making statements, trying to be politically correct. But I think that we cannot have the kind of system we want to have, especially looking at the trend, looking at how thuggery, looking at how hooliganism has probably taken over our space in Nigeria. We cannot achieve that full circle without enforcing the universal basic education. The fact that every child that is born in Nigeria must be able to attend schools, and the schools must be free, no hidden charges. Currently, we have children that cannot go to school just because of 800 naira, and it's a sad reality. Now, so if we want to fix the system, I think we have to do the overhaul, and we have to insist that government must have every child go to school, I mean, for the first 9 years of their lives, so that they can be able to navigate through the rest of their life, even if the government is not going to do anything about their tertiary education.
What then do you make of, especially in the northern part of the country, there was at some point by the previous administration, they did have this Al-Majri system of education and schools built all over the northern part of the country to try to get as many children that are out of school, some of which are today part of that huge number of 13 million out of school children. Do you support a situation whereby the government continues to support the Al-Majri system of education to get children into schools?
Now, so call it whatever name you want to call it. Call it Al-Majri, call it formal. We just need children to go to school. And when they go to school, we want to see that the quality of the education they get is top-notch. So the Sustainable Development Goals, Goal 4 particularly speaks to quality education. Now, quality education, without quality education, we cannot achieve much. Now, we have a whole lot of children out of school, not just in the northern part of the country, by the way. When you look at the southern part of the country, where we don't really look at, there are a whole lot of children that do not go to school. There are children that go to school and they study under unconducive situations. We just saw a video that was trending sometime this week with children in school, and it was raining. Now, these are realities. Now, so forget about the Al-Majri system, as it were. Let them go to school. Let them be able to afford that education. Let the education come to them. Let it be quality. Let it be free. Let it be open enough. Now, we also have a problem of continuity in government. Now, the former government built Almajiri schools. I'm not sure those schools are functional till today. Now, we have a situation where probably those schools have been turned into IDP camps, or I really don't know the situation. But my position as an individual and as a Nigerian moving into 59 years of independence is the fact that children must go to school. Children should be in school. We shouldn't have children roaming around the street, be it in the northern part of the country or the southern part of the country.
That's a good place to let it rest. Mr. Busayo Morakinyo, who is an education consultant as well as a community engagement manager at Connected Development Code. Many thanks.